thought I was recording this whole time, and I wasn't. Okay, restart. This is a 1/4 pound of shrimp from Frank Shrimp. It's Chicago style, so it just has garlic on it compared to regular that's just plain. It's kind of like popcorn shrimp. Yeah, the spicy sauce is sweet and tangy. It's kind of like barbecue sauce, but it has a tang to it. A little twang. A little tang. Their fries. Oh, it's bright. This shit is good. It's a good little snack. Oh man, y'all. I just came from church, right? Spanish Mass. I'm trying to learn Spanish, which is one of the things that I've just never, I haven't gotten yet in my life. So, I'm going to Spanish Mass. I listen to Spanish music and translate the words. I'll try to do TV, but it does kind of mess with me when the translation isn't literal, you know? I get the gist. I understand it more than I can speak it, for sure. But I was tempted to go to my PJs, but I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, not disrespect the Lord. Put on a nice shirt. Bro. I never wear green. It's not that I don't have anything against it, it's just I hardly ever. Apparently, everyone was wearing green. And they were celebrating some saint, I think. I wish I could tell you. But the priest was dripped out in green. The altar was in green. And I was like, okay. Clearly, this was not a coincidence. I've been going consistently for the past, I want to say month, but at least 3 weeks. And I enjoy it. Those shrimps are thick. The coolest part is it's the school that I went to, but they're closing. So the parish is still up. I don't know if it's gonna be up, but I get serious flashbacks. That's where I had all my masses growing up, my communion. So it's a lot of flashbacks, and it's actually pretty cute because I have flashbacks of Jonathan and I in mass, like singing along together and stuff. So cheesy, I know. So I guess there's a lot of things in my algorithm. I don't know if it's happening for y'all about people's testimonies. I feel like I'm going to share my testimony someday, but I think I'm just on the pivot point of that right now. It's like a starting point. But I'll tell you my journey with it. But when I was younger, I think I've talked about this before, my parents were so strict. On top of that, going to school was so strict because it was Catholic. And I just felt like I was in prison, you know? I didn't feel like I could be who I wanted. I could do what I wanted. I could say what I wanted. I really couldn't do anything, so I was kind of miserable growing up. And I remember when I would go to Mass, it would feel like forever, and I just wanted to be over, you know? And I would just stare at the stained glass, beautiful, beautiful stained glass windows. I was even doing that today, you know, getting lost in it and kind of like flashing my life back of, I would say 8 years, but kindergarten to 8th grade. I started going to Mass in like 2nd grade, maybe 1st grade. It's like 7 years growing up. I'm very nostalgic. So as I grew older, I just wanted to grow up. I just couldn't wait to grow up. To be on my own and be independent and do and say as I please, right? So I rebelled. I was a wild child. If you can compare me to anybody, Jersey Shore, people would call me Snooki. I'm not proud of that. I mean, she's a mom now and stuff, but I'm glad it was her and not me showing her hoo-ha to the world. Like, people seen it, they were there, but it was not nationally televised. God, I hope not. Some Truman Show shit. So, I just remember feeling, like, resentful and turning my back towards the Catholic Church. Just because it's kind of like one of those things like the law of attraction, right? Where you want to speak the things you want into existence. And if you focus on the things you don't want, those things are going to happen. Like with the church, I felt like there was nothing I can do right without feeling like I'm going to go to hell. If I don't go to church, I'm going to go to hell, you know? And I didn't understand, you know, I just didn't understand a lot of things about the hypocrisies of it all, you know? I went to Catholic high school, but their Mass was in the gym. It didn't really feel like a real Mass, you know? And then I went to public college. So I had turned my back on the Catholic Church. I turned my back on God. 2015, 2016, I go and experiment into New Age, which I'm still dabbling in, but I feel like I'm coming out of it. But I'm still like borderline, you know? Here's the thing, I don't know if I'll ever stop, but what I realized, and I may be doing things wrong according to the laws of whatever, frequencies and universe. Personally, for me, no amount of sage or crystals or tarot cards or self-help books really improved my life, you know? If anything, it kind of hindered it a little bit. So, about a year or two ago, I just had this on my knees moment, praying to whoever, asking for help, you know? Like, hit rock bottom a few times. Well, you know, I have nothing else to lose. Why don't I try to find, you know, the OG again? I'm on my last 2 now. I'm at the point where I feel like, for me and my algorithm, it's kind of forcing me to choose, like, whether New Age or God. And right now I'm at the point where I don't feel like I have to choose. Like, I know I'm leaning more towards not New Age. They say you're, like, inviting bad things into your life by doing that. I just don't think that he, or the great power, would give me or us the ability to explore those different kinds of things if it were wrong, you know? I'm not casting spells or drawing pentagrams or anything. But, you know, I've always been drawn to nature and black cats and just, I know everybody's like a fucking witch these days, but I believe that, you know, I can pray to the moon and stars and also appreciate nature and believe in God, you know? I think our current culture has normalized things like manifestation and New Age and the law of attraction, but those things, I believe, are given to you by God. You know what I mean? Like, who's the one that's helping you manifest? And at the end of the day, meditation is prayer. It's just a fine line, you know? In the Bible, it says you're not supposed to dabble with any of that stuff, but the Bible also says it's a sin to be gay, and, like, that's a whole other thing that I'm not for. So I think we just have to take the word of the Lord and, like, the Bible with a grain of salt. Like, believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm at the point where I want to try something new to see if my life is actually going to elevate. Because I've been trying to do the same things and it's just not working, you know? Hopefully I feel better and I sound relatively normal in another week or so. I just had a regular cold, but I ate everything except the fries. They're just a little too starchy. definitely think of like a Popeyes fry. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you at 420 maybe eventually. Maybe not. Shout out to my OGs. Bye, y'all.